I understand full well what the problem is with people in Pastordowell. And I say this with all love and sincerity that people need to get and understand because see what they don't do is they don't know this. They don't know this right here. They don't know this right here. They haven't studied this right here. They haven't studied it for its history, for its biblical understanding and experiences of the people written in this book. And what people are attempting to do is to judge Pastor Dow. What they're trying to do is they're trying to force judgment through their own hand, through their own volition, uh, through their own platforms, uh, and it's not going to work. And I'm going to tell you a simple reason why it's not going to work. And because people don't know history, people don't know biblical history, or they know the history, but they fail to apply it to modern day terms because that book is there for our edification, for our exhortation, for our understanding, and how we need to be dealing with people today. I say that to say that you see all these people coming out and attempting to judge Pastor Dow, attempting to wish or invoke some type of response, whether it's his harm or the end of the ministry. And let me tell you a simple reason why that's not going to work. Again, now my understanding comes from here. See, the problem is that people's understandings they derive their understandings from a lot of other philosophies and perspectives and viewpoints that are not found in this word. So, taking into consideration the Torah and the Tanakh, uh, and understanding what the prophet said, and understanding what uh, has happened of old, I'll give you two examples. You have Moses and you have King David. Both men were put in that position by Yah himself. And as a direct result of that, whether it was their fault or not, people within that congregation attempted to stand up and judge Moshe. And we don't forget, or we forget what happened to those who attempted to judge Moshe when Yah called them to the doorpost. People failed to realize that Yah issued judgment on King David for his transgressions against Uriah the Hittite. Uh, People forget these things because they don't want to equate a man like Pastor Dow to a man like Moshe or a man like King David. We're all fallible. And so, just like King David was fallible in areas, so too will Pastor Dow be fallible in certain areas. Just like Moses was questioned, uh, and Yah came down and pretty much issued judgment. We seem to fail to understand how Yah works because his ways are higher than our ways. And I know people don't want to accept this simple truth. But it is the truth nonetheless. And whatever Yah has in store, Yah has in store. And just like those judgments came upon the people that thought that they were going to question Moshe or King David for his transgression. See, I'm using these these examples and the scenarios in these examples to give you understanding. One in which happened to the people that attempted to judge Moshe, and the judgment that came on King David. Where did it came from? Where did it come from? Where did these judgments come from? It came from Yah itself. And yet and still, you're going to see Moses in the kingdom. You sure are. You definitely going to see King David in the kingdom. And a lot of people, this is a highly offensive to what they perceive judgment should be, because they're processing this judgment through a Greco-Roman, pagan heathen, Western, Roman, American philosophy, perspective, and viewpoint, and not through what we've seen of old. Are you getting it? Hopefully people are getting this thing and understanding this thing for what it is. The short of the matter, no man is going to be or exemplify or put forth any kind of judgment on this man, because simply put, they're not in any position spiritually. And that's the first and foremost. Spiritually, they're in no spiritual authority to issue it. Forget the world. Forget all of this other stuff, because first that's which is natural, then that is which is spiritual, and you must be born. See, the spiritual is always going to outdo the natural. It's just like, I'm a shepherd of sheep. And as a direct result of being a shepherd of sheep and learning and understanding how they move, it has given me a good understanding of people and even of scripture. Because even the Old Testament said that for every shepherd is going to be an abomination unto the Egyptians. Now, we know we were talking in a natural sense because we know how to produce. We know how to tend the sheep. We know how to get things done. We know how to feed ourselves. We're self-sufficient. But that'll never outpace or outweigh the spiritual shepherd, the Jeremiah 3:15. The true Jeremiah 3:15, because he says, I shall send you shepherds according to my heart that shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. How can you hear without a preacher? These are very difficult truths to receive in our heart and to understand. Yah's will be done. This is just a simple fact, and not you, your feelings, your emotions, any ministry, any shepherd, any preacher, teacher is going to outwit the will and the judgment of Yah. So what I really do impart on you folks out there is to let Yah do what he does according to the manner of his grace and his mercy. Because in a situation of Moshe to the situation with the judgment of David, it was according to his grace and his mercy. And you better hope and pray. This is the big one. This is the big one. You better hope and pray that the mercy and the judgment and the grace that he had on the situation with Moshe, when he called them to the doorpost, or what happened to King David, not only with regards to him and the child that was terminated, but the pain and suffering that King David received with his own sons, and with his own trials and tribulations that was all prophesied. Hopefully I was able to really give some good wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on this thing, because we need it. This is just the truth.